Here we go. These are my I call these the Little Mermaid rocks. I kind of like walking up here purely for the picture. 3, 2, 1. Today on the Tom Kelly Show podcast, we have dock dogs. What's a dock dog? They're dogs jumping off docks. Also, we have me pontificating. It's going to be a short one because I have a few surprises. Let's start the show.
The Tom Kelly Show. Everybody, I want you to go to the Tom Kelly Show. I want you all to know about the Tom Kelly Show.
Trigger warning, spoiler alert. Oh my gosh, your dog just jumped off the dock. You are experiencing a quick beach edition of the Tom Kelly Show. I'm going to keep this short. I'm really doing this one to honor my commitment of doing a podcast twice a week. That sounds stupid, but I'm rushing this one. If you get a chance, watch episode 302. Find out if I made it to my show at Southold at the Cast North Fork Center. It was one of those, what they call a get ready with me, as I drove from Maine all the way to Long Island to go do a show. And then I drove back here to Maine because I have a great deal on a house that I like to rent and it makes me happy. That said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been, look, it's a rainy day here in Maine. It's rainy, it's cloudy. You can probably hear the wind blowing. It's not a dream vacation day. I've had a bunch of dream vacation days. This one is a dream rainy vacation day. And I've been inviting my parents to this place for the 3 years I've been coming up. I've been saying, hey, why don't you fly up for a day or two, blah, blah, blah. And you ever just start inviting someone knowing that they're not going to come? In fact, you ever invite someone someplace so many times that they're actually getting angry that you're asking them there? That's kind of what happened with my parents, my dad. My dad's like, I'm not flying up to Maine. All right, well, I'm sorry. Okay, but, I'm just saying if I'm up here, I have the car. I can meet you at the airport and show you around a nice little town that I think you and Mom will get a kick out of. So anyway, just remember, I drove 3 hours to the ferry. And really, I drove 4 hours to go to Long Island yesterday to be about 2 hours. And where I was on Long Island was 2 hours from my folks. So anyway, as I finally make it, and I didn't go to my parents' house, I was like, all right, I'm 2 hours away. Let it go. I'll see them at the end of the week, or I'll see them in a week. It'll be fine. Anyway, I basically, in a very hilarious sort of a way, finally get up here to Maine after, 4 or 5 hours of driving, whatever. And God bless, my father says, I'm driving up tomorrow. I'm like, well, if you told me, I would have just driven the extra hour and driven up here with you. And driven, anyway, after years, when you say, hey, Tom, where do you get your last minute planning from? It's my mom and dad. And, and basically my father is pulling on me as I walk on the rocks here. My father is pulling on me the same stuff I pull on all my other friends. The great bluff has been called. Now, let's get into here we go. These are my I call these the Little Mermaid rocks. I kind of like walking up here purely for the picture. All right. For those of you listening, you heard me just slip, and I am not going to selfie stick and walk on the rocks any further than from where I am right now. We'll just Little Mermaid it right here. How great would that be? The Little Mermaid finds Prince Eric after he suffers a mild concussion while working with a selfie stick. I want to be a part of your world. Oops. So I'll finish the podcast here because I'm afraid of dying. So anyway, Dad is coming up. And then you talk about the great invitations that never get followed up on. My friend Chris and I, we talked about my old roommate, Sean. He was also Chris's old roommate, and he lives in Kansas. God bless. About a month ago, I invited Sean to come out, and I said, hey, man, I'm renting the place. All you have to do is show up and have fun and eat dinner with us, blah, blah, blah. And he said, maybe I'll come for a couple of days. And, then you get text number 1. Maybe I'll come for Memorial Day weekend. Then, text number 2. Maybe I'll come for the first week of June. And then you just stop hearing from him. And it's just like, you know what? That's fine. But now, when you get into sitcom moments, if there are 2 friends and loved ones in my life who will surprise me and show up on me in Maine, it's my dad and my friend Sean. And I'm just imagining the wacky sitcom that will result. That my dad is here tonight, and then suddenly Sean knocks on the door. Hey man, you said I could come anytime. Wah, wah. Wackiness ensues. Start your 2-hour buddy movie. So, so anyway, you got to celebrate though. And listen, I'm actually very, 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 very excited my pop's coming. Because again, I think my pop will enjoy this. He won't be climbing on the rocks, but it's low tide. I mean, right now you can't really see them on the video. There are literally 27 people surfing out there right now, including one guy paddle surfing with his dog. So we have dock dogs and surf dogs on the show today. What the hell is a dock dog? I stopped in Kittery, Maine, and had I basically was pulling over to stop at a brewery. I pulled over. It was a weird outlet shopping area. And I saw this thing in front of the Maine trading post, which I guess is like a Cabela's, I was told. It wasn't really as exciting as I thought. But basically, I saw dogs jumping off docks. Dock dogs. Dogs jumping off docks. And that's what they do. They basically play fetch and then make the dog jump into this giant swimming pool. And whatever dog jumps the furthest wins the prize. And I guess it's an average. But here's the fun. I texted my friend Jeff Lesh. I'm like, Jeff, we need to put this on ESPN2. Jeff is a big shot Hollywood agent friend of mine. And Jeff made some jokes. I made some jokes back. And I made an Instagram post. We need to put this on ESPN2. And my friend Pete Freilich sent me a text. Sorry, Tom. It's already been done. Even the dumbest ideas I have thought of have been done. Oh, they're dumb and done. Yeah. So I had 2 other big pieces of wisdom I wanted to give you. I found a sand dollar. Here's a good self-helpy moment for today. I found a sand dollar on the beach, and I'm like, oh my God, I've always wanted to see a real sand dollar. And I brought it into the house, and then it turns out I was looking around my little rental house, and there are sand dollars all over the place. And I just thought, gosh, is there some sort of a religious analogy there that you spend your whole life looking for something good, you find something good, and then you realize you've been surrounded by that very good thing the whole time. You just didn't know to go looking for it. Yeah, I don't know. Next one, I want to tell a quick real estate story about, I think it is the house that is under construction. It's a couple of years ago now, but it's the house behind me. Fun story about the house behind me. When I first came to Higgins Beach, Maine, houses were for sale. You could have bought but not necessarily the houses on the ocean. I decide one of these houses here on the ocean is for sale for $799,000. And I said, my God, I want that house. I don't care that it's 8 hours away from where my family is. I want to live with this view. I'll rent it out. I'll find a way to make money off it. Blah, blah, blah. I want that house. I'll scrounge up as much money as I can. I called the real estate agent and put in a $700,000 or $799,000 cash offer on the house. I don't even know where I was going to find the cash, but I made the cash offer. Anyway, the real estate agent calls me back the next day and says, Mr. Kelly, thank you for the call, but the house already sold. And I said, well, just for fun, what did the house sell for? You were asking $799,000. What did it actually sell for? And she goes, $1.8,322,000, because I think they also had to pay the closing costs. The woman had cents on the offer. Anyway, that's my taste in houses and my taste in women's. I want a $2 million house on a $500,000 budget. And I guess that gets it, it's funny. I had this good little chat with my friend Chris as I try to figure out how to integrate this side of myself with my New York City self is, am I feeling the urge to nest? Like they say women feel it in their 30s when they start going from dating a-holes to nice guys, that they want to nest, they want to start a family, they want to live somewhere longer. And maybe I'm feeling my nesting urges. Not really the funny note I wanted to end on, but there you go. And that's about it. If I can't end funny, you know what I'm going to end on, folks? Dock dogs! Yes, again, this makes no sense on the audio podcast, but there are waves behind me, and there are dogs jumping off of docks. So, I'll be back next week. I think I'm going to New York and then flying back to Maine. So I'll have a good story to tell you on Sunday night. Good night, Higgins Beach.